Hello, everyone. I am Trevor,
I am Bill.
and this is Bill and Trevor's Excellent Adventure. So, we are picking back up in John chapter 11, in verse 45, right after Lazarus just came out of the tomb.
Yeah. And the emotional impact of this chapter on me is like the day the earth stood still.
Yeah, I can't even, man. I can't even imagine the just spreading like wildfire what Jesus did.
Yeah.
People having to make, it makes decisions like, do you believe him or not? But it's like, after all the things he's done, how do you not believe that he could do this now?
And we're about to see how do you
Yeah,
not believe.
and here we are. Yeah. So I'll pick up in verse 45.
Okay.
Therefore, many of the Jews who had come to visit Mary and had seen what Jesus did believed in him. But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. Then the chief priests and the Pharisees called a meeting of the Sanhedrin. What are we accomplishing? They asked. Here is this man performing many signs. If we let him go on like this, everyone will believe in him. And then the Romans will come and take away both our temple and our nation.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
Let's deal with this.
I love the justification that he has to, die because they're afraid the Romans might take everything away from them. But Jesus has no concern with the Romans. In fact, he wants them to believe too.
Here's the first thing. What are we to do? For this man performs many signs.
Yeah. That too.
As a matter of historical fact,
Mm-hmm.
not contested at the time by anybody who was there,
Mm-hmm.
he was doing many miraculous signs.
Yep.
That, which is what people talk about today, was not the issue at the time.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing that I just find jaw-dropping.
Mm-hmm.
What are we to do? What do you think you can do?
Nothing. I mean, he already tried to seize him multiple times, and he couldn't.
And verse 48, if we let him go on like this, wait a minute, what are you saying?
You can't.
If we let him go on like this.
I think it's funny that they're talking as if they have a choice.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It's like you're standing on the railroad track, right? And the train's coming, and you're fretting. And you say, oh, my dear, the train is coming. If I let this train come, I'm going to get smashed.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's like. Except the train is, honestly, it's a meteorite instead of a train. It's something way bigger.
And then, if we let him go on like this, everyone will believe in him. To which I say, duh.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. Oh, man.
Everybody but you, apparently.
Yes, exactly.
And then here's the next shoe to drop. I don't know how many feet we got in this conversation, but the next thing is, and the Romans will come and take away both our place and our nation. Now, that is a loaded statement.
Very. It's just, maybe it's because of in the Torah it's more described as Jesus comes as a warrior, and that's what they believe.
That's the thing, right? If he's doing this, if he's the Messiah, why are you concerned about the Romans?
Only reason I can see is the power they give. That's about it.
Oh, and take away both our place and our nation. And here the true concern is exposed.
Yep.
If he's doing these things, it means he is who he says he is.
Yep.
And if he is who he says he is, then you don't need to worry about the Romans.
Not at all.
You don't need to worry about your nation. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be A-okay.
Now, what you do need to worry about maybe is your place.
Yes.
And we get back to the premise that John, the gospel writer, exposed early or declared in John chapter 3. This is the real reason at the root of unbelief. And I say again and again and again, modern day people who are seeking need to consider, what do you think you have to lose? Because that's really the gate.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly the gate.
Okay, pick up again in 49.
All right. Then one of them, named Caiaphas, who was the high priest of that year, spoke up. You know nothing at all. You do not realize that it is better for you that one man die for the people than that of the whole nation perish. He did not say this on his own, but as high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus would die for the Jewish nation, and not only for that nation, but also for the scattered children of God, to bring them together and make them one. So from that day on, they plotted to take his life.
Let's stop and consider that for a moment.
I want to say I think it's hilarious that he had a prophecy and he interpreted it correctly, but he doesn't know that he interpreted it correctly.
Exactly.
He has no idea that he is quite literally fulfilling the prophecy as we speak.
Yeah.
He is unaware of that, but he is a key part of this.
Yeah.
Because of that.
As you say, it's hilarious. It's kind of like earlier you said the circumstances surrounding the controversy after the healing of the blind man, that it would be a comedy if you didn't have the total context.
Yeah.
And here again, if you do have the context, it's still hilarious.
It's still hilarious. It's very funny.
And so you just got to shake your head and say, wow.
Yeah. Just wow. That he was... It's cool the way God works. Gave this man a prophecy to fool him, basically. He said, haha, gotcha. Thanks for doing my will.
And the other thing that's cool to me, well, one of the many other things that's cool to me is how we have in this record a window into what was the contemporary thought surrounding Jesus.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that, yeah.
That, people today who think that their faith depends on the miracles get this window into the thinking of people who did not question whether he was doing many miraculous signs.
Not at all.
They weren't even questioning whether it was one, two, or many. They knew. And because they could not accept what that meant, they had to find some kind of way to just go blind.
Yep. Sure did. They had to find a way to go blind while other people were gaining sight.
Yeah. Jesus, therefore, no longer walked openly among the Jews, but went from there to the region near the wilderness to a town called Ephraim, and there he stayed with his disciples. Now, the Passover of the Jews was at hand, and many went up from the country to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. They were looking for Jesus and saying to one another as they stood at the temple, "What do you think? That he will not come to the feast at all?" Now the chief priests and the Pharisees had given orders that if anyone knew where he was, he should let them know so that they might arrest him. Now, I said a while ago, we're at a pivot point in the gospel narrative.
Yep.
It has been remarked upon by several writers that much of the Gospels is really about Jesus' last week on earth. That the amount of time that all of the gospel readers put into his last week vastly overshadows how much time they spend describing his ministry.
Yeah.
And, that's indicative of their own thinking. And I'm just going to leave it to people to ponder, why is that so? I can speculate all day long, but I don't know.
You're talking about specifically why they emphasize his last week?
Yeah, like here we're in John chapter 11, and there are 21 chapters in John, and we're already shifting into his last week.
Yeah. I never really thought about that. Because we do only get a couple chapters about his ministry. And you think about it, his ministry was so cool. His ministry was amazing. And honestly, we only talk about the 12 disciples. There was more. When you talk about all the people that Jesus changed their lives one way or another, or just had touched their hearts enough for them to follow. You know, it's there was more than that. Um, you know, this last week obviously is the thing that changed the course of life itself for us. But
Really, the week before and the week after he died are the most pivotal weeks in human history.
yeah, yeah. But before that, he was still doing amazing things. It would be cool to be able to see it like a, you know, obviously we'll not see it now until we meet him, but a character study of Jesus. You know, it's like a who. Well, we know who he was, but we just can't quite understand how he thought.
Well, you can and you should make a lifelong project of studying the Gospels and trying to figure that out,
Yeah, yeah.
and then trying to imitate it as best you can.
Oh, absolutely. Mm.
But verse 55, the Passover of the Jews is at hand, and a lot of people wonder, well, is he going to come?
Yeah.
Because, you know, earlier in the Feast of Tabernacles, we had the same question, and Jesus came in kind of incognito until there was this big reveal when he starts preaching in public.
Yep.
And so now people are wondering what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas it's kind of alluded to in the Feast of Tabernacles here, this verse 57 is point blank, we're going to kill him.
Mm. Yeah, man.
If anybody sees Jesus, you just let us know because we got something for him.
Yeah, they're going to take care of him.
And now let's start reading verse 12 because it's still in verse 12, even though we're getting very close to Passion Week, as it's called, we're still really talking about Lazarus.
Yeah, yeah. You want me to pick up?
Yes, please.
All right. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus lived, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume.
Let's pause here for a moment. So if I understand here correctly, Martha is imitating an incident that is described in one of the other Gospels, where there was a woman who had been living a sinful life, did it in the home of Simon the Pharisee.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, I think that the word about that must have circulated around because here's Mary, who's not that woman, at the home of Simon the leper, who is not the Pharisee. And the idea here, you know, does it say Simon the leper here? Where does it give his name?
Does it? I think it just said that they went to...
Okay, so I'm figuring this out from some other knowledge. Don't worry about that.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, we see Mary, who we understand to be the emotional one, is really, I dare say, carried away.
Yeah.
And buys this perfume, a pound of it.
Yeah.
Pure nard, which...
Oh, it's a pint. Sorry.
Well, since you said that, Greek litra, or Roman pound, was equal to 11 1/2 ounces, or 327 grams.
Oh, there we go. Still a lot.
It's a chunk.
It's a chunk.
Of pure nard and expensive ointment. So again, they had money, and she's not afraid to spend it.
No, not at all.
Not on Jesus. And the house is filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples who was about to betray him, said, "Why was this ointment not sold for 300 denarii and given to the poor?" And my footnote, that's basically a year of a working man's wages. That's how expensive that stuff is.
Yep.
And it again gives credence to the idea that this was a wealthy household.
Yep.
Because she had the 300 denarii in the first place.
That's it's funny you talk about a wealthy household. To me, that this household might be filthy rich.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of like not central to the point, but, you know, Jesus is not necessarily opposed to rich people.
He's not, yeah.
But he's opposed to rich people being possessed by their money, which is a whole nother topic.
It's more of an opposition to greed than to wealth.
Verse 6, talking about Judas, he said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. And having charge of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put in it. Jesus said, "Leave her alone, so that she may keep it for the day of my burial. For the poor you will always have with you, but you do not always have me. And then here is verse 9, which, just do 9 through 11. Just read it.
Okay. Meanwhile, a large crowd of Jews found out that Jesus was there and came, not only because of him, but also to see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. So the chief priest made plans to kill Lazarus as well. For on account of him, many of the Jews were going over to Jesus and believing in him. Crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Crazy. Just because the guy who got resurrected is walking around, they're like, well, he's got to die a second time. And what's even funnier to me is that, we got to kill him and Jesus now. Jesus just raised him from the dead. He'll just do it again. You just saw it. We know it happened. So, and then it's funny because they're not even denying that. There's no denial that he raised him from the dead. They just like, well, they got to die now. It's like, well, if you do it, doesn't matter.
That is called burying the evidence.
Yeah. Burying the evidence. Jesus is going to raise it once again.
So when I was like 13 or 14, I remember it was the summer before my 9th grade year. I was mowing the grass, and I'm afraid I'm something of a space cadet. My mind goes off places. And this is back in the day before lawnmowers were made safe. And I was mowing the lawn in front of my house up a hill, and the front wheel happened upon a rock.
Ooh.
And my mind was elsewhere. And as I continued to push, the rear of the lawnmower raised up, and I stepped into the blade.
Oh, wow.
And it went, and it cut through my sneakers, cut through my sock, cut through my toe, and pretty much severed it off of my foot. So long story short, one of the neighbors whisked me out to the hospital. Somebody sewed my toe back on.
Wow.
And for a few months, I was having to wait for the toe to heal. And during that time, I had to soak it like 3 times a day in warm salt water to leach out the pus. It was gross.
Whoa, gosh.
And to also make sure they didn't get infected.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a phenomenon. All the kids in the neighborhood would come out to the house and watch me soak my foot because it looked like Frankenstein, the way it was attached on with the stitches still visible, and all the pus and stuff leaching out into the warm salt water. It was just so cool. And I imagined myself that was what it was like with Lazarus.
Yeah, that he had to soak himself in warm salt water.
Well, no, the fact that he was such a phenomenon,
Oh,
that people
yeah,
from all
yeah.
over the neighborhood would come and watch.
They all had to be there.
Because everybody knew he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew he was dead.
Yeah.
Everybody knew he was walking downtown just last night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so they would. It was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it had to be.
What do you think Lazarus thought about it what do you think Lazarus thought when he heard that the Pharisees wanted to kill him?
Honestly, I wonder if he's just baffled. He's like, what did I do? I just died.
And either that or not again. Or maybe he was thinking, I've already been dead. I'm not impressed.
That too. Or maybe he's thinking to himself, he's like, man, I'm so unlucky. I was just sick and I died, and I want to die again now. Or I'm going to die again.
And then the other thing that's just really hard to grasp is, what are these Pharisees thinking?
Yeah.
It's just mind-stretching.
It is.
And the whole point to all of that is to consider just how reasonable is most of the atheist thinking today if you are willing to independently research the facts and get down to the bottom of it. Because as a young Christian, I was looking for a rational basis and making sure that my facts were all straight.
Yep.
And the things that I learned when I learned how to challenge what was being said to me, it's still the same old stuff.
Yeah.
The conclusion is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we will figure out what we have to figure out so that we cannot accept the obvious conclusion based on the facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's enough to leave our listeners with right now.
I think it is too.
I have been Bill.
And I have been Trevor.
And we have been
Bill and Trevor's Excellent Adventure.